freezing working age benefits next year could save the Treasury more than £4 billion, but at a terrible cost of plunging an additional 400,000 children into poverty, a think tank has warned. The Resolution Foundation said its research suggested that scrapping the uprating of working age benefits in line with consumer price inflation (CPI) next year would reduce the incomes of 9 million households by an average of £470. Calculations published in a briefing document by researchers at the foundation said the move, reportedly under consideration by Chancellor Jeremy Hunt, could save the UK government as much as £4.2 billion in what is likely to be his final budget in the spring before a general election. Mr Hunt is under pressure from right-wing Tory MPs to come up with tax cuts before the UK goes to the polls. According to reports last month, Treasury officials were said to be considering real terms benefits cuts as part of cost-saving options being drawn up in time for the autumn statement on November 22. The CPI figure for September is due to be published on Wednesday, October 18, and is traditionally what ministers base any April rise in working age benefits on. According to the Office for National Statistics, ONS, CPI in August was 6.7%, with the September rate likely to be a similar figure. Lindsay Judge, research director at the Resolution Foundation, said, the UK government is reportedly considering returning to a tried-and-tested way of saving the exchequer money, by not uprating benefits in line with prices next year. This policy could save the government up to £4.2 billion, but it would come at a terrible cost, reducing the disposable incomes of 9 million families by an average of £470 a year and plunging up to 400,000 more children into poverty. At a time when the incomes of the poorest half of the population are already set to fall next year, failing to uprate working age benefits in line with prices would be hard to defend, deepening a cost of living crisis that is already hitting low and middle income households the hardest. The economic think tank also pointed out that any cash freeze to benefits next year would be a return to a policy implemented between 2016-17 and 2019-20. The authors of the study published over the weekend found that freezing the cash value of universal credit entitlements next year would save around £2.9 billion. They also said that freezing other non-protected working age benefits such as child benefit, job seekers allowance, tax credits and statutory maternity and paternity pay, would save around £4.2 billion. The think tank warned that scrapping the benefit uprating would hit the incomes of 45% of working-age households when Britain is already in the grip of a cost-of-living crisis. Giving an example of those who could be hit worst, researchers said a working couple in receipt of universal credit with 2 children would see their annual income reduced by £1,241. It said that, even if the uprating does go ahead, the poorest half of the population are on track to see another disposable income fall of around 1% next year, putting a further 300,000 people into absolute poverty. Get the latest Record Money news. Join the conversation on our Money Saving Scotland Facebook group for energy and money saving tips, the latest benefits news, consumer help and advice on coping with the cost of living crisis. Sign up to our Record Money newsletter and get the top stories sent to your inbox daily from Monday to Friday, including a special cost of living edition on a Thursday. Sign up here. You can also follow us on X, formerly Twitter, at @RecordMoney_ for regular updates throughout the day. A UK government spokeswoman told the Press Association, PA, "We increased benefits by over 10% this year in order to protect the most vulnerable from the impact of high inflation." As is the usual process, the Secretary of State will conduct his statutory annual review of benefits and state pensions in the autumn, using the most recent data available. PA also approached the Treasury for comment. Join the Daily Records WhatsApp community here and get the latest news sent straight to your messages.